Okay, we are on to the third stage of project management, which is the a planning stage. The planning stage, and at the planning stage, we look at how we will manage the scope. We look at how we manage the time. We look at how we manage the cost, risk, quality, communication, resources, and other issues as far as the project is concerned. So after the initiation, you need to have a kickoff meeting with your team members to plan a kickoff meeting to plan on the project, what you need to uh, all the activities you need to put in place as far as the project is concerned. Please make sure your team is uh, is well informed and well engaged in the planning phase, because most of the times we face challenges in assigning or letting people know and carry out some tasks because we plan without informing them, or we plan without them when it is very necessary to inform them while planning. I am not saying that I am very much aware that there are activities or there are plans you as a top level manager, you need to carry them out without informing the employee. You carry out the plans and you just inform them that now I need you to carry out this assignment. But when it has to do with functional departments, that's you as the accountant interrelating with the marketer, you are the same functional level of the organization. So you need to make sure that both of you are involved in the planning. Both of you are involved in the planning. You don't just plan and you inform them that now this is the you as the accountant, this is the decision I've taken as far as marketing budget is concerned. The marketer is there expecting that both of you will come to the table, he or she presents his marketing strategies, and then both of you discuss on the budget that will be needed to execute that strategy. But you as the accountant, you've already decided on whatever budget you're allocating to them without having that meeting with them. So it's very to with the marketing department. So it will be very difficult, very challenging to execute that particular decision. So always make sure that you have a meeting with your team members, communicate all the project deliverables. Then you set both all of you set objectives, break down the objective into the activities that needs to be executed. Okay. Now we talk of at this level in the planning phase, there's a work breakdown structure. At the work breakdown with the work breakdown structure, you that's from the first activity up, you break it down right down to the least activity that needs to be carried out to execute that particular project. And as I earlier said, you're going to receive the notes on the work breakdown structure and a more the diagram, some explanation, and more insight on it. Okay. You equally have managing risks. As far as planning is concerned, at the level of as far as project management is concerned, at the level of the of planning, you need to outline how risks will be managed. Okay, once you have decided, or once you have defined your work breakdown structure, once you've drawn your Gantt chart, of which you're equally going to see in the notes, once you've drawn your Gantt chart and the work breakdown structure or the network diagram, you are at a position where you can define the risks that will be involved in the project. You can project the risks that will be involved in the project. If you manage your risks actively, you can save money for the company, and you have a much greater chances of finishing your project on time, on budget, and with happy customers or stakeholders. So what we are saying here is that at the planning phase, put in place measures to effectively manage your risks so that at the end of the project, you are going to finish with a better cost, with an efficient cost management. So to put in place this strategy, follow the following steps, please. Follow these steps. Identify the risks. Number one, You need to identify the risks. Do this with your team members. But if you have that ultimate veto power to do that alone and communicate it, good. But you should have a good communication strategy, communication strategy that persuades. Identify the risks. Evaluate the probability of the risks occurring. Evaluate the impact. If the risk occurs, what will happen? For instance, you want to carry out a project in the northwest and southwest region, and the project entails building structures around the university campus, University of Bamenda or the University of Boya. Now, provided we are in 2015, teachers have started talking about going on a strike action or something like that. That's a risk you should be assessing. Provided you did not assess that risk and you went on to construct that building, or you started a project and along the way the Anglophone crisis started, everybody is running, packing out, you cannot complete the project. That project has been standing there for 3 years, if not completed, because you did not assess the risks well. After identifying the risks, evaluating the probability, evaluate the impact, document the probability, the impact, the identified risks. Okay, document that. Now, for medium and high risks, define an action plan. If this risk occurs, what is the plan? What are you going to do? For high risks, define a contingency plan. A contingency plan is a completely different. You have a different project plan. You have a different scope. You have a different. You spell out different objectives. You spell out different timeline and all of that. That's a contingency plan. But with the action plan, there are just some steps that will help that you divert from some of the steps you said, but you still go in line with that. A contingency plan might end you up you might end up in a different results, but it should still benefit the it should still benefit the stakeholders as they wish, as they desire. That's the contingency plan. And when you design your contingency plan, always make sure that you inform your stakeholders that due to this is the probability of risks occurring. So this is the plan. Now, if we are not able to build in the University of Amenda, around the University of Amenda campus, the contingency plan is that we build around the University of Waikele. It still benefits the stakeholders. How does it benefit the stakeholders? The building is up. It has been given out for rent. Rents are being paid on time. Everything in the building is equipped. The only thing that has changed is the fact that the location has changed. That is a contingency plan. Now, for the action plan, this is for medium and high risks. For action plan, for low risks and low and medium. For low and medium, we define an action plan. Now, for the action plan, given that the risk is low, the action plan might be that you halt for a month. Let the strike action comes to pass. You continue with the work. Or you might decide that, given that it is going on in the community outside, you decide to bring your workers to stay in the building and work in the building. That's an action plan. Okay. So we talk about teams. As a project manager, you have the choice as to which type of team you create. It is your job to help the team to become great. A successful team meets the stakeholders' expectations. A successful team reduces barriers to the attainment of the goals. A successful team embraces control and change. A successful team communicates effectively. There's mutual accountability and collaborative creativity in a successful team. A successful team takes joint decisions. A successful team appreciates and takes appropriate initiative. So let's take note of this. As a team, the manager, remember that you have the responsibility to get your team to work to motivate your team. Let your team members always feel longing to get up and come to work the next morning. Motivate them, not only financial motivation. Motivate, appreciate them. Word of mouth appreciation is good, very, very good. Okay. Finance is only one of the tools or one of the methods of motivating people. Now we have virtual teams. I'm sure you've learned of a virtual team. Like now, a virtual team has to do with a team of persons from different cultural backgrounds. Yes, from different cultural backgrounds. You might have them working online. You might have them meeting just once in a while. After meeting once in a while, or every other thing is being done uh, virtually online. And managing this particular team is very, very challenging. But if you put the following in place, you're going to manage them successfully. You need to create a trustworthy environment. If I'm talking with somebody from the US, if I'm working with somebody from the US, I should let the person trust me. Yes, the person should trust me. Establish meaningful team specific symbols. When we meet online, what are some of the things we discuss on? If we are having a meeting online, what is the logo? What is the background image? It should be something that represents us. Like as you're going through this note, the background you see here is Zenaf Consulting. You see something ZCA, something like that. Zenaf is something like it's a symbol that represents us. Okay. Facilitate opportunities for team members to get to know each other. Organize as many virtual meetings, video conferences as much as possible. Create a clear vision with virtual teams. There are frequently breakdowns and loss of motivation after face-to-face meetings. Okay, so know that after face-to-face meetings, you can easily lose connections. So always make sure you motivate and keep them alive. Treat everyone equally, regardless of their distance. The fact that both of us are in Cameroon does not mean that you should treat me different from someone who is in America. Use multi-channel communications. You can use WhatsApp, you can use Google Meet. You can use, like this training now, we are using WhatsApp, we are using Google Meet, and we use Zoom as well to deliver. Okay. Now, another important aspect as far as teamwork is concerned, we have the responsibility of assignment metrics. The responsibility of assignment metrics simply spells out the roles and responsibilities. The roles and responsibilities of all the team members. Each team member has his own role and responsibility. You might have a team member who is responsible. Those we say they are responsible, these are the people who are in charge of completing the tasks. We have team members who are accountable. These are people who are in charge of giving reports, answering and correcting, answering queries, questions, and completing the ensuring that the work is completed as specified in the deliverables. The ones who ensure that the task is achieved and who delegates the work to the responsible. So, like we said, the accountable here is more of a project manager, while the responsible is more of the workers, ground workers. You equally have the consultant or the counsel. These are those whose opinion are sought, typically subject matter experts, and with whom there is two-way communication. You ask their opinion, and they give you their opinion. They are just there for consultancy. Yes. You have the informed. These are stakeholders or these are team members who are kept up to date on progress, often only on completion of tasks. Here there's only one way communication. I only tell them that this is what you've done. It has been completed. Period. So we've come to the end of the session on project planning. Like say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you will need to plan your project well. If you plan your project well, you're going to execute it well. Please pay attention to your team members. Make sure they are all communicated of their various responsibilities. Each team member knows what he or she is supposed to deliver. So we are moving on to the next part of the lesson, the next part of the course, which is project execution, putting plan into action.